Now, it should be also noted that Lewis Carroll was an ordained deacon in the Church of England. You would think that he was a full-fledged Christian, and depending on where you look, it sounds like he was. However, he was around during the spiritualism craze of the time, and he was actually interested in Neoplatonism, which ties us into the theosophy stuff and all these other occult belief systems. But the man had an interest in the supernatural.
I feel like a new man, or whatever I am. I feel like an unsprung spring, like an uncorroded gear, like an untarnished bit of metal that sticks in your eye.
Answer me, Hatter. I'm suffering, and changes here are a cause, or they're a reflection, or the effect. What's going on? What are the new rules?
The law is just a whisper away home to wonder who... Who knows how to measure rules with a ruler? Cruel rules.
Idiot. I should have left you in bits. Come, the least you can do is help me discover what's going on.
He was interested in both the scientific world and the spiritual world. A similar thing happens with the White Queen. She can remember future events. This is divination. This is what she says.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show!
Bizarre show.
That's quite enough of that, I think. Enough preliminaries. Here's the performance you've been waiting for. Proves I'm without prejudice and have a fine sense of humour. Sword and crown are worthless here. I invite everyone to dance. Labourers, lawyers, shirt and gown all make their little prance. This life is full of random deaths, and heaps of grief and shame. So few are soothed by accident, you want someone to blame. Fire, plague, and strange disease, drowned, murdered, or, if you please, a long fall down the basement stairs. None are expected, no one cares. I often must work very hard, sweat running down my skin. After the dance, I then must rest, and the eating can begin. Time to eat. Death is the ultimate equalizer. All have the right to be eaten.
Get a knife, princess. Don't push. All will be served, so to speak.
Wicked thing. Feasting while Wonderland is destroyed.
I'm not the enemy you seek, Alice. I tried to hide this bit of Wonderland from that beast. Appeasement's never clean. We must all play our assigned roles. Are you a pawn or a queen? An idiot or a practiced fool? However this turns out, consider the prospect that you've been misled, Alice. Then ask, by whom?
No! Who set that bloody train in motion? Where has it come from?
It arrived when you arrived, and it's more horrible even than you could currently imagine. The death of a dream!
There, Alice. Better now, aren't we?
My head's exploded and there's a steam hammer in my chest.
Yes, well, the cost of forgetting is high.
My memories make me vomit. What can I...
Remember other things.
I want to forget. Who would choose to be alone, imprisoned by their broken memories?
I'll set you free, Alice. Memory is a curse more often than a blessing.
So you've said many times, and...
And I will say again, the past must be paid for. Now, before our next session, collect those pills from our high street chemist.
Very well, Doctor.
It's my turn to forget, Alice.
Now, Charlie. Your pa was hung for killing your ma who beat you. Let's forget that, shall we? The past is dead, Charlie.
Now, Alice Liddell is the person that Alice is named after from Alice in Wonderland. So let's talk about Alice in Wonderland and her entrance into the unknown.
I've been down this road before. Good things in small packages?
Though lacking a bathing costume, a plunge in that pool is in order.
You'll notice there's multiple guides that guide her through this, just like in the occult initiation rituals.
My God, I'm shrinking in this potion. Shall I disappear?
Almost. But the upside is that while smaller, you can see things that are nearly invisible to your bigger self.
Various demons sometimes are used to teach the initiate the ways, similar to when Alice has these anthropomorphic entities talking to her. They are teaching Alice various concepts, like the Hermetic axiom of as above, so below. When she shrinks down, the world is not much different than when she is large. What they're saying is the things that you do on the earthly realm are tied directly to what happens in the cosmos. You are intermixing with the gods, and vice versa. The macrocosm and the microcosm are intimately connected. That's why she's always eating something or drinking something in order to reach these altered states. These are sacramental ceremonies.
Ah, I get it. Right. Forests for the trees. Just the other way round. Short-sighted is more than a matter of perspective.
3, 2, 1. Alice, tell me of your wonderland.
What have you done?
In a similar manner, the initiate could enter into an altered state through use of drugs. Sometimes they would do it through sex. We'll see this play about in Alice in Wonderland as well, where she's partaking of the food and the drink. She enters into altered states. And it's in a similar way because the initiates will enter the altered state to traverse the cosmos, maybe even make contact with a otherworldly entity, and come back with some kind of new bestowed knowledge. Now let's take a look at the MK Ultra / child abuse allegations revolved around this story. Lewis Carroll met a girl named Alice Liddell. Lewis Carroll was 23 and Alice Liddell was only 4 years old. And there was allegations that he was intimately interested in this young girl. If you look at some of the theories around this Alice in Wonderland tale, some of the more disturbing ideas are that Carroll wrote this to talk about how a young girl is being abused and she has to enter into this dissociative identity in order to deal with the trauma. Okay, so when the tale starts, she's following the White Rabbit. And what's kind of disturbing about this is Holly Madison, who was a Playboy playmate, she lived at the Playboy Mansion, and in her book she talks about how there was all these kind of deviant sexual activity that Hugh Hefner would allegedly subject her to. On the book cover, it's called Down the Rabbit Hole, and she's dressed up just like Alice. And she's showing us the vow of silence, which she's apparently violating. Good for her. Another example of this White Rabbit would be from the song Jefferson Starship, White Rabbit, where it's all about veiled drug use and entering into altered states and experimenting with the drugs. Oftentimes these MK Ultra victims are given drugs in order to either brainwash them or have them not remember what's going on. It's all part of being distracted while the abuse is happening, and can make the victim enter into this dissociative identity. It's like an alter ego. It's one of the ideas behind it is that either they're evoking some kind of goddess entity, or it's a dissociative identity disorder. Beyonce calls herself Sasha Fierce. Nicki Minaj calls herself Roman Zelensky. So this thing goes on a little bit further, including the fact that there were 30 plus employees of Disney World arrested for sex crimes against children. recently, which ties into the idea that Disney is involved in all of this. They're part of the manipulation propaganda. Now, Alice is invited to play this chess game. This is her progressing up the rank system. And this is no different than how the world works. You jump through the hoops, you get the treat, you get the cookie. Now, what I find interesting is that when Alice finally makes it to the top, she is sitting with the white and the red queens, thinking that she's going to be given some kind of ultimate knowledge, but finds that it's pure gibberish, and there is no answer at all to any of this. And this is exactly how it works. This is why in Jodorowsky's Holy Mountain, the initiates, they make this final ascent up the mountain and find that the people who they thought were these grand masters who had all the hidden knowledge that they were going to bestow, they didn't even exist. When it comes down to it, it's this idea that there is chaos, there is no organization, there is no absolute truth. This is nihilism, this YOLO attitude of you only live once. There is no consequence, there's no punishments, because there is no afterlife. Friedrich Nietzsche was the big proponent of this idea of nihilism, because it was saying that when you look into the truth of things, there is no truth. So the Alice in Wonderland is, she finally makes it to the end, and there are no rules anywhere. It's chaos everywhere. There was no purpose to it. So where does that all lead? What does that give you? There's no guidance. So when you take away everything, all the rules and morality and the lessons of the world, which most of us know, you take that away and you've got this large void. And that's why people who follow into nihilism might go crazy. Friedrich Nietzsche himself went insane and had a mental breakdown before he died. To me, it seems like nihilism, they're trying to prepare us for these entities that are further evolved than us, supposedly, and we're supposed to listen to them, but in all reality, it could just be the Antichrist, kind of like in The Childhood's End, that book by Arthur C. Clarke. Same concept. They hide these messages in entertainment, because that's the best way the message gets through. Francis Bacon talked about this. He said it was better to entertain people and send them a message than to directly tell them the message.